Right afternoon, mabuhay. I am May Villavillo. Level 3 Post-Conventional Morality. Level 3 of Goldberg Morality Development, called Post-Conventional Morality, is when morality is fully internalized, guided by self-chosen principle rather than external roles. Decisions are based on individual rights and justice. Level 3 Post-Conventional Morality. Stage 5 Social Contract Orientation. People recognize that laws exist for the common good, but they also see that some laws may harm individuals or fail to promote general welfare. Such laws should be changed to serve the greatest good for the greatest number. For example, sa stage 5, may batas sa eskwelahan nga hindi pwede magdala ng cellphone. Pero may isa ka estudyante nga nagadala kay ginakontak siya sa iya ginikanan nga nagatrabaho sa ospital. Kag nagsuggest ang maestro nga pwede baghuon ang batas. Pwede sila makadala sang cellphone, pero gamiton lang kuno nila sa special nga rason kag hindi gamiton sa klase. Stage 6 Universal Ethical Principle Orientation. People follow moral principle based on universal human rights, justice, equality. Even if it means breaking laws, they prioritize conscience over legal requirements. For example, sa stage 6 kay may isa ka estudyante nga may nakita siya nga ginabuli ang iya classmate. Bisan pa nga may batas eskwelahan niya, hindi pwede mag-apil-apil kung way kalabot sa ila away. Pero nagbulig siya gihapon kay para sa iya kuno, mas importante ang hustisya kag protection sang tawo kaysa sa pagsunod sa batas nga hindi pwede mag-apil sa away nila.
Development of conscience-based moral decision. Panizo defines conscience as an act of the practical judgment of reason deciding upon an individual actions as goods and to be performed and as evil and to be avoided. It is metaphorically referred to as the inner little voice of God. So, Panizo's view, conscience is a practical judgment, your mind deciding if something is good and should be done or bad and should be avoided. Like, ang imo nga mind ang mabalaan nimo sa imo nga una if tsakto ang desisyon nga pwede nimo himuon o like makabalo po ka ma-identify nimo kung sala siya tapos pwede nimo siya nga likawan. It is sometimes called the little voice of God because mo kini siya ang kalang like ang konsensya nga ang like inner voice sa ato nga kaugalingon nga mao ni siya ang nagasulti sa tuwa kung dapat ba natong himuon ang isa ka bagay or dili. Panizo, 1964, quotes Saint Thomas regarding the obligatory force of conscience. Every conscience, whether right or erroneous or what we call wrong, whether with regard to acts which are evil in themselves or acts which are indifferent, is obligatory, so that one who acts in opposition to one's conscience does wrong. Panizo quotes Saint Thomas saying that you must follow your conscience whether tsakto siya or dili, and kung sa may kinalabasan sa mga desisyon dapat sundon dyan po nimo ang imong konsensya, because kung imo kini siya nga i-try nga kontrahon mura siya maka-feel ka og dili insakto sa imo deep inside nga maka-feel ka nga murag dili mao ang imong gihimo ba. Reverend Thomas V. Berg defined conscience as follows: in natural law tradition, conscience is understood as judgment emanating from human reason about choices and action to be made or accomplished or already opted for and performed. So, Reverend Thomas' point of view, conscience is part of natural law. Like, it's a reason judging whether our choices matches what's truly good for our well-being. Like, kung ang atong actions gamatch ba sa mas ikamaayo para sa to nga kaugalingon. Mga muna. Aquinas said, conscience comes after thinking things through. It's your final judgment about whether an action is morally right or wrong. In Aquinas' point of view, conscience is like it's your action after you like una-una ni mo danay ang mga bagay-bagay bago ka nag-decide whether tsakto siya himuon or dili. If we try to go against with our conscience, we feel like deep inside us, we feel morally wrong or like makafeel tag o guilt. The uncomfortable feeling isn't the conscience itself. It's just a sign that our action doesn't match our moral judgment. It's like kabalo kita sa unsay dapat atong himuon but still wala na to siya gihimo. Mo na makafeel ta og dili nindot na feelings mga muna mabatyag kita guilt. So conscience is not just emotion. It's a thoughtful decision about what's right. So in conclusion, conscience is our mental compass. It's like our guide on how we decide things through. It helps us choose actions that are good and avoid those that are bad. It's based on reason and reflection, not just feelings. And even if our conscience make a mistake, we still have to follow it because acting against it means ignoring our own sense of right and wrong.
Bright morning, everyone. My name is Chancel Rizal, and I'm going to discuss here about the forming conscience. So, what do we mean when we say conscience? Conscience, it is an inner feeling or voice viewed as acting as a guide to the rightness or wrongness of one's behavior. So, when we say the forming conscience, it is the process of developing an inner sense of right and wrong, guided by reason. So the forming of conscience doesn't happen instantly. It grows over time through learning, reflection, and experiences. These are the 7 important components of forming a good conscience. First is seek moral truth. It involves exploring and understanding ethical principles and values. It's about questioning assumptions, seeking wisdom, and striving to live authentically. Second is integrity and honesty. Integrity means being true to oneself and one's value, while honesty involves transparency and truthfulness in words and actions. Together, they foster trust and respect. Number 3 is continuous learning. This principle emphasizes the importance of understanding ethics. It involves staying curious, seeking new knowledge, and adapting to new situations. Number 4 is guidance consultation. This likely refers to seeking advice and mentorship from experts to gain valuable insights. Next is consultation. Consultation involves seeking input and advice from others, often experts or stakeholders. It's about collaboration and considering diverse perspectives to make informed decisions. Next is virtue of prudence. Virtue is the ability to control and discipline oneself to the use of reasons. It's about being cautious, wise, and thoughtful in decision making, considering both short term and long term consequences. Number 7 is widening consciousness. This involves expanding one's awareness, understanding, and perspective. It can refer to personal growth, spiritual development, and empathy to develop a deeper understanding of the world. By embracing these principles, you can develop a well formed, compassionate, and principled conscience that guide your decisions and actions.